Patutuloy pa po ba yan because of this decision?
Actually, hindi pa talaga ako official member of the panel. Kami ni
incoming.
Kong Chel Jokno, kasi kailangan pa yung ma-elect kami o ma-confirm kami ng plenary as the new members of the panel. And siguro next week sa second day siguro after the SONA ay pwedeng may mag-nominate sa amin to be part of the panel. Kasi kahit ganyan nga yung nangyari sa Supreme Court, yung decision na pinalabas kahapon, at siguro naman hindi magsusurrender naman ng House kaagad-agad doon sa naging decision. And in fact, I just read a little while ago an item na in-announce na ni Speaker na magpa-file talaga ng MR sa Supreme Court. So since may MR pa, we cannot really say na talagang final na yon. Although, kasama sa decision, yung it is being declared as immediately executory. Pero I don't think that would preclude the filing of MR. Karapatan naman yan ng yung kung sino yung party na may adverse resolution, and here yung respondent, yung House of Representatives. So despite that portion of the decision which says that it's immediately executory, hindi yan magiging obstacle sa pag-file ng MR kasi karapatan yan ng respondent ng House of Representatives.
Opo. Yes. Mamaya po natin, bago natin himayin yung 97-page decision ng Supreme Court regarding this, if you would have your way, no, ano po dapat yung maging tugon dito ng Senado bilang isang impeachment court at ang House of Representatives bilang na atasan ng Korte ng ating konstitusyon na tumayo bilang prosecutor sa isang impeachment trial?
Okay, yung sa House of Representatives ay dapat talaga i-challenge yung decision. So that's through the filing. The only way is to file the motion for reconsideration. You know, there's always a chance na baka nga ma-reconsider, mag-grant yung motion for reconsideration. Kaya nga that's the very objective of any motion for reconsideration for the court concerned here, the Supreme Court, to take a second look. Ganun naman talaga. At nangyayari rin in certain cases na nag-grant ang MR. So we hope na dito mag-grant yan ang mangyari, no? Sa part naman ng Senate, may two scenarios eh. One is yung, di ba, it was announced by, was it Senator Joel Villanueva, na sinabi na despite this decision, itutuloy pa rin nila yung impeachment, saying na sui generis daw. So the other scenario is that pwede namang hintayin ng Senado yung resolution ng motion for reconsideration. Kasi kung gawin nila yon, na mag-continue na sila ng trial, ay baka magkaroon tayo ng, it would trigger a constitutional crisis. Hanggat maaari iniiwasan dapat yan. Pero maiintindihan ko ang Senado kung yan ang gawin nila, na despite the Supreme Court decision, pwede na sila uli mag-reconvene, although nakakonvene na sila and they were able to acquire jurisdiction already. Although in the decision it says na dahil nga sa discussion na violate daw yung 1-year bar rule, tsaka na violate daw yung right to due process ni respondent VP Sara. May napansin ako doon nung binasa ko na yung decision, napakahaba, hindi ko pa nga tapos, Christian, yung pagbasa. Pero may napansin ako doon na because nga daw null and void yung impeachment complaint na yon, yung fourth. Kaya the Senate has not really acquired jurisdiction over the impeachment case. But then again, since meron nga ipa-file na MR within the proper period, which is 15 days, ay pwedeng i-argue ng Senado na hindi pa naman final yung Supreme Court decision na yan. Kaya pwede kaming mag-proceed. But then, kailangan talaga kailangan maging maingat din ang Senado while it can assert its right. Kasi nga yung sinasabi na it's supposed to be the tribunal with sole power to try and decide impeachment case. Tapos yung mga nagiging questions ngayon about yung yung pakikialam ngayon ng Supreme Court sa impeachment case, medyo nasobrahan. Kasi ako, I always maintain the position, Christian, na yung sparing lang dapat ang pag-acquire ng jurisdiction ng Supreme Court over an impeachment issue, an impeachment case. Because nga, malinaw sa Constitution na the Senate has the sole power to try and decide cases. But I'm not saying na totally wala ng karapatan ang Senado na scrutinize a particular legal or constitutional issue being brought before it. Ang sa tingin ko, kung wala naman clear violation of the Constitution at wala naman manifest grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction, hindi na dapat nag-hands off yung korte, Supreme Court sa mga issues na yan. But here we see, yung discussion nga, very exhaustive. Talagang ginanahan yung pag-draft, yung ponente, si Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonen sa pag-present nung kanilang ruling. Pero bagamat rinirespeto ko, Christian, ang Supreme Court at ang desisyon, hindi ibig sabihin ay I'm concurring with it, na ibig sabihin katanggap-tanggap na. As a matter of fact, talagang may mga ilan-ilan na mga questionable na mga ruling dyan sa decision na yan. And several legal experts, former justices, has said as much na may diferensya yung decision. Unang-una nga, yung mga naging factual findings, yung mga factual conclusions dun sa mga crucial, the crucial facts and events that transpired before the transmittal of the articles of impeachment sa Senate. Nagkaroon ng misappreciation. Okay, yung misappreciation. Okay, una, yung tungkol sa sinabi na yung the first three complaints filed by private citizens, private groups, endorsed by members of the House of Representatives, deemed dismissed or terminated daw. Kaya nga daw, barred na yung fourth impeachment complaint, the one signed, endorsed by 1/3 the members of the House and became the articles of impeachment na tinasmit sa Senado. May mali kasi wala naman actually action yung plenary. And na refer to the speaker and then put in the order of business within the proper period. 10 session days. And on the last day nga, on the 10th day, na tinasmit ng the Secretary General, na walang masama doon na hinold muna niya yung pag-transmit, pag-refer to the Office of the Speaker para ma-include sa order of business sa plenary. Walang masama doon eh. Yung kasi yung parang isang issue doon, yung may discretion daw ba ang Secretary General na gano'n ang gagawin, na hindi ka agad transmit o refer doon sa Office of the Speaker? Anong masama doon? A previous ruling, a previous Supreme Court case sa Francisco case, sinabi na doon na walang masama o walang problema kung multiple complaints. You can wait for the other complaints Otherwise, magkakaroon ng scenario, it's possible yung scenario that the very first impeachment complaint filed is sham. You know, yung para lang ma-file, walang kwenta-kwenta. And then, the mere filing of that would bar the other complaints ng mga mas matino, mas serious, mas seryoso na mga complaints. Kaya, ang ruling doon sa Francisco is that an impeachment proceedings is deemed initiated only kapag yung a complaint or the complaints filed by private citizens endorsed by the House, a member of the House, ay refer to the Justice Committee, the proper committee. Yun ang pagkakaintindi natin doon sa naging ruling sa Francisco. Dito, walang ganon. So, hindi pa dapat kinonsider na yung tatlo na yon makakabar na doon sa fourth complaint. At wala ngang formal action. Hindi yung dinismiss, hindi yung terminate ng House. They were archived because moot and academic na. Since ang inadopt, the plenary, by a vote of 1/3 of the members, opted to just directly. Diba? Yung pumirma sila ng bagong verified complaint and endorse, and yun ang transmit. So that's one of the factual.
Okay.
Yes.
Excuse lang po, before move to the other issues that you found in sa Supreme Court decision, hindi ba yung fourth impeachment complaint ay na-actionan by Feb 5?
Yeah, the same day.
So ibig sabihin,
bago.
So paano mag-hold water yung argument na terminated na yung naunang tatlo? Eh nangyari naman lahat yun bago nag-adjourn ng session.
Kaya nga, that's why. Kaya questionable yung pagkakasabi, effectively or deemed terminated or dismissed. Hindi yun ginawa ng House eh. Nasa House yun. Yung House, ang merong karapatan, ang merong poder na tatanggap para i-refer sa proper committee. Eh hindi. Kasi mas nagustuhan nila na sila na lang diretso. And on the same day, the three complaints and the fourth one, they were all placed in the order of business sa plenary on February 5. So bago yung sinasabing nag-adjourn. So where is saan yung applicability ng the bar rule, 1 year bar? 'Di ba? So nakakaano eh. So the second finding now which I find perplexing is that sinabi na the VP Sara's right to be heard or right to due process was violated. Kasi unang-una daw yung pag daw nung complaint, hindi naman daw it doesn't appear na pinaikot sa lahat ng members. Hindi lang dun sa mga pumirma na 1/3. And hindi nga daw binigyan ng pagkakataon, binigyan ng kopya si VP Sara at binigyan ng pagkakataon na sumagot. Again, it's very kasi alam natin based on the Constitution and the rules, kapag yung second mode na yan, actually it's the third mode, yung direct resolution by 1/3, walang nakasabi doon na bigyan dapat ng opportunity yung respondent na sumagot. Meron lang kapag ang nangyari ay yung impeachment complaint ng private groups refer sa Justice Committee, and the first thing that the Justice Committee will do is to determine whether the complaint is sufficient in form. And then if it's sufficient in form, the next step is to determine whether the complaint is sufficient in substance. Pag hindi sufficient in form and or in substance, then the committee will dismiss it by the required vote, majority. And then yung resolution nila of dismissal, i-refer nila sa plenary, sasubmit nila sa plenary, and the plenary would either affirm yung dismissal or override the dismissal. In which case, pag in-override, ibabalik uli sa Justice Committee para mag-continue na ng proceedings, including yung presentation of evidence.